Thank you. She's upstairs right now talking to her mom. Catch you up, Griffin. I got engaged today.
Oh, congratulations, man.
Thank you, sir.
Obviously, this is a joke.
Wait, what's a joke?
Congratulations and condolences.
Oh, yeah. I am getting my leg sawed off. Yeah.
Man, nothing's rolling 13s. I'm gonna keep going until one does.
Hell yeah.
I'm committed. There it is. Rainbow.
Before we get started, I have a question. Did we rest at all, or do we still have the current settings that we have right now? Okay, thank God. I had 4 out of 28 hit points.
Yeah, you took a beating.
Damn. Let's see. Where's my character? There it is. Where's mine? Yeah, I went ahead and healed back up. So, yeah, it was a long day. Long adventuring day. Well, technically it was an adventuring night, I suppose.
Yeah.
Are you getting Alex from upstairs over on the... Is the mic picking her up?
Not that I can tell.
Okay, good.
I keep hearing just a tiny, noise, but it's not anything overwhelming.
It's coming from my end?
Yeah, just the slightest little grunts and noises that I keep hearing every so often. It's completely random and so small and significant.
It might have also been me finishing up eating.
Gotcha.
No, it sounded like a feminine voice I was hearing, but
Okay.
Oh, Alex is a man. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing on the Discord, boo.
I think that's actually why I thought she was in the room with you.
Yeah, sorry.
I heard her voice a tiny bit, but it's not very loud at all. It just sounded like she was in the background.
Yeah, she's upstairs. Can you tell me which setting I need to adjust for that? Would that be output? No. Input setting? No.
Yeah, it would be input sensitivity, if anything.
Alright. I guess we'll see if that worked. Alright, I'm ready to go, guys.
Alright.
By the way, what are you eating, DM?
I'm sorry?
What are you eating?
Pork roast and mashed potatoes. Pork loin roast and mashed potatoes.
Hell yeah. I want some of that. I'll be over in 5 minutes.
Sounds good.
make me a plate and pour me a double.
We got moonshine.
Hell yeah.
Did I stutter? No.
Hey, if anything's worth having a drink over, it's this, I suppose.
Yeah?
Alright.
In a good way.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Got that pulled up, and I think that's the last thing I need to... I mean, that possibly won't come up. That probably won't come up this session, so I'm gonna leave it be for now.
You might need to worry, because whenever you say that, Wolfram probably brings it up.
Well, I do have a quick way to go about it if it needs to happen. So, last time, we awaken with, doors being kicked down and battles happening in the top room of the inn, and proceed onwards after that misunderstanding to Sibo, where Sibo explains that Reyna's discoveries from the books in Connor's Tower that she, took a couple of, have helped with a magical breakthrough in terms of identifying magic by its caster.
Damn. I'm
With-
actually very curious about this technology, but I don't know if Wolfram would be.
Honestly, I don't have like a concrete way of doing it. I just made a magic item that responds to a spell slot being cast into it,
I don't want to poke it with a magic weapon and see what happens.
A black hole. No,
I thought, hey, this isn't a bag of holding in a portable hole.
Pursuing some leads to possibly find the true killer for the murders that Reyna was accused of, the reason why her door was kicked in the morning. The party finds himself deep in the quarry / mines just outside the city, and come across a vast underground cavern with an ancient kind of ruinous city inside it, across a chasm. Why couldn't I think of the word? Across a chasm that had some sort of, invisible bridge over it. And crossing that bridge, the party finds themselves face to face with some sort of snake monster inside one of the buildings. But something's off about it. It's not how it normally should be. It's got a more swampy vibe than its usual volcano vibe. And after quickly dispatching that, the party finds an old familiar face, to Reyna at least. And Reyna, being put into a state of unconsciousness, missed most of the fight to awaken to the killing blow against Rig, the person that she thought saved her life so many years ago, nursed her back to health. But it was all a dastardly plan established by him from the start. And Reyna, in her state of unconsciousness, gained quite a few memories and truths told to her about this world and all the ones that came before it. After wrapping up and taking off for the night, the party takes a much needed rest in the original inn that they rested in just the day before. And,
what time of morning is it? Oh.
Well, it depends. How hard would you guys sleep?
Well, no, I mean, what time of morning is it when we get back? Because the sun rose while we were in the cavern.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
it
fair.
like 6 a.m., 8 a.m. when we get back to the inn?
I'd say that sounds about right. Yeah, early morning hours.
Then I'll sleep for at least 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's fair. Same.
2 p.m. Hey, it's just like me in real life.
So with that being said, Reyna, as you are a trancer, and Guizo, you would also probably hear it. There is a very... Well, actually, Guizo, if you would like to, you could make a perception check, but for a specific reason, this is a very gentle knock on Reyna's door.
Okay. I think wait. Me and Guizo and Driffin were all sharing a room across the hall. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
That's a 9.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, Reyna probably barely hears it herself. But yeah, there's just an ever so gentle knock at your door, Reyna. It's probably about, at this point, about 2 would be 6 hours so probably about 1 o'clock, 1:30 maybe.
My passive perception is a 14. Does that do anything? I'm asleep. Just out of curiosity.
Let me check, because the person's intention is to be very,
Discreet.
yeah.
I almost certainly wouldn't notice then. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Because I think at the most, even if we established that my character was like very, what's the word for it, like alert, that I would still have disadvantage on a passive perception if I'm unconscious.
Yeah. I think that's usually the way we rule it, so.
So it'd be a 9 then. So don't even worry about it. I don't know.
That's a D10. There we go, okay. Raina? How do you respond to a knock at your door? A very gentle knock at your door that you barely notice.
I think with what happened last time, Raina would pull out one of her small daggers and just have it in her hand in case anything happens. But she'd cautiously open the door.
Okay. So, standing in front of the door, you see Julius a few steps away from the door. And then looking down in front of him, you see, with his back turned towards you, Sibo. And he's holding a scroll in his hand and muttering to himself.
Orange Julius. Shit, sorry. I thought I was muted.
No, that's fucking fantastic.
That's how I make associations, my bad.
No, I want Orange Julius.
After a moment, just a brief moment, Sibo looks back over his shoulder and sees that you've answered the door, and he goes, Raina, we just want to talk. We've discussed some things. We figured out some things with the council. You've never heard of a council of the Name Foundation, so you assume that this is probably something else, maybe.
Okay.
And we just need to talk with you and your associates. We can wait downstairs. I just want to let someone know that we were here. And with a nod, he begins to walk away.
What time do they show up? Is it like noon?
About, noon, 1-ish. Kind of in
Okay.
between there.
I'm definitely still asleep then. Alright.
Okay. And they want all of us to come down there?
He said you and your associates, so you would assume.
Yeah. Entirely up to I think that in this case, this is entirely Raina's call, so whatever she feels like would be the right call.
I think Raina would go inside, maybe grab her things, and go and knock cautiously on the door across the hallway, but not like enough for them to notice, but not for like banging on it, if that makes sense.
So Guizo, you being awake, you would definitely hear, and Driffin and Wolfram, I imagine, because it sounds like she's knocking at an average knock level, so I imagine you would be awoken. It doesn't, I don't think that requires too much of a check or anything.
We're probably both pretty good at perception, being like, a ranger and a.
I also have an owl.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've got honed senses. I think it would probably bolt right out.
Jesus.
You all right?
Wrong pipe.
Oh man, I hate it when that happens.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Not knowing who knocked, Guizo is just gonna look at the door and he's just going to say, "Come in."
Wolfram sits up in bed.
Griffin does the same.
I feel like
Wait.
Raina would peek in and be like,
Same
"What
bed.
do you do?"
We're in the same bed.
I thought the same thing.
So, Raina, you've peeked in and you said what now?
I said I would kind of peek in a little bit, Or like crack the door open and be like, everybody decent?
Wolfram is not. But he covers
Precisely
himself with
why I
a blanket.
asked.
Is Wolfram
Covered
ever
in
decent?
Wolfram is very rarely decent.
So yeah, you can relay however you want to relay it to them, Rena.
Okay. Sorry, I just took a bite of food.
No, you're good. We can fast forward to downstairs in the discussion because it doesn't, we don't have to do the play-by-play of the next 30 minutes while you guys, get yourselves woken up and blah blah blah.
Griffin brushes his teeth. Guizo makes breakfast. Wolfram pees for like 3 minutes straight.
Evacuation complete.
Yeah, you knew exactly what I was referencing.
Sitting in this kind of half tavern room, because it's not like a full tavern. This is just a place where, like, the people who are staying at the inn can grab a quick meal before they go up or leave or, whatever. Sitting at a table is Julius, Trevor, Sebastian, and Sibo. And they are going to town on a large platter of assorted meats and biscuits and fruits. And it is just a large platter, about 2/3 the size of the table that they're sitting at.
Wolfram just sits at it like this is his breakfast too and starts taking meats off of there.
Guizo, what's your passive perception?
How do I find that?
It'll be your perception score, as in the skill, plus 10. Most of the time. Almost always.
Yeah. So for you, that would be 11. Okay. And if you're on D&D Beyond, it'll be under
Oh, I see it under senses.
Yeah, there it is. Excuse me.
Okay.
And let me see real quick.
I'm assuming it doesn't apply to Griffin and Wolfram, but if you are curious, mine's pretty good.
Everyone including you, Guizo, hear a psst, psst, coming from behind the bar, where you see the innkeep's daughter is like making a what is clearly supposed to be a slide come over here motion, but it's not.
Okay, is she directing it at anybody in particular or just the group?
At Guizo.
Okay, I'm just gonna get up and walk over, and it's gonna be obvious.
Wolfram notices, but just completely ignores her.
We will address that in just a second. First off, Reyna, Sibo looks specifically at you and finishes chewing whatever he's chewing. You think is probably the other half of the sausage the size of his forearm that he's got in his hand. And he says, gotta, oh, let me get in the voice. Gotta get out here in the edge of town more often. The food out here is just amazing. Of course, Leonard and his daughter, they make amazing food. Much better than any of the anyways, that's neither here nor there. Reyna, first off, I should well, here goes. And he stands up from his chair, looks at the chair, looks up at you, Reyna, this like 5'11", 6 foot elven woman, and stands back up on his chair. And he says, I owe you the deepest of apologies. I know this is no excuse, but the condition that we you were brought back to us in the time between the events that happened, what you told, it was all mysterious. I'm diverting blame. I didn't believe your story, and that's not my treatment, and the Name Foundation's treatment of you is not okay. And with what you've done, with what you've brought us, the magical breakthroughs, I think you have more than proven yourself. And I would like to officially, and he holds his hand out to Sebastian, who, without missing a beat, places a rapier, saber, very stylized saber, like a knighting saber, into his hand. I would like to officially re-welcome you in the level of journeyman to the Name Foundation. For context, just so everyone knows, the levels of the Name Foundation go as such. The apprentices, who of course are apprenticing and learning from the journeymen, who take a role of teacher. The journeymen often have decades of experience in their field. Above that is masters, and above that is headmaster. Reyna, to your knowledge, headmaster is the last of the group, and you would be 2 down from that, you know.
Nice.
And he just bows his head and holds out the saber to you.
So, by taking the saber, what does that mean exactly?
Well, it means that you are recognized by the Name Foundation as one of us, one of our researchers, our teachers, one of the select few who pursue knowledge specifically, and the growth of our people as one man. I'm so bad with words. I apologize. This is why I never do the press conferences myself. This is why they have me in an office doing the clerical shit. It means that you're back. You're one of us. All of your honors have been restored, and you will be placed at a higher level than you were before. With that, I will say, comes sort of offer. The level of journeyman doesn't necessarily mean that you have to teach, but that is the level that our teachers are. And with that, you would be, well, you would have a position here or any of the other Name Foundation headquarters as a teacher, teaching your field of study. And that's if you choose to accept that. Regardless, you have been restored as the level of journeyman. Again, if you decide to take that. You don't have to, but this is what we will not want to give you, regardless of the job.
I will take the saber. But the teaching, would I be able to start that later?
I mean, I think the offer would stand, but that's unfortunately a little bit above my head.
Well, you can find out. Either way, if it doesn't stand, that's fine. I'm not becoming a teacher right now. I've got some stuff to do.
I understand, and I respect your decision on that. Honestly, I'm just grateful that you're giving us the chance to attempt to make it right.
We must kill God.
What was that, Wolfram?
Yeah, Wolfram says, yes, we must kill God. He says under his breath. and then take the prevail as he. As somehow he's ordered an entire chicken that has just arrived, and he's just like ripping his leg off.
Meanwhile, while this conversation is happening, I don't remember. Did I give the innkeep's daughter a name last time we met with her?
I don't think she particularly had a name. She was just a half orc.
NPC. A generic NPC.
Yeah.
As you approach, she leans over the bar towards you, and she says, "So I heard you tracked down and took care of whatever killed that family."
Oh, yes. That was my team.
Well, thank you. We don't take kindly to one of our own being taken from us. It's happened before, and we don't want it to happen again. Especially from some vague, mysterious outside force. We try to be a lot closer here since, tragic. There's a tragic story. Everyone has a tragic story. She's a little flustered, having trouble finding her words, and she quickly leans over just a bit further and gives you a peck on the cheek, and then without waiting for a response, she turns and walks into the kitchen quickly, saying over her shoulder, "You're always welcome here, all of you."
That's so cute!
Oh.
Anyone have seen this happen?
Yeah, if anyone's paying attention, it's obvious that she called him over there, so, if anyone's paying attention to that conversation.
Okay.
I think Wolfram is doing what Wolfram normally does and is watching the whole room while pretending that he's not.
But it's
With the predestination, when she kisses me on the cheek, the flame on my hair kind of puffs a little bit.
I love it.
I love it.
That's so
You're gonna kill me, please,
adorable.
no.
I just imagine that we cut to a different camera angle, and Misfit is just sitting on the bar 6 inches away from this while it's happening.
Yeah, have you changed Misfit's form to from
Still an owl.
still an owl? Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Guizo slowly goes to put his hand up to where she kissed him, and Misfit just starts licking his face, and he gets rid of the kiss. He's like, no.
Well, with that, I will talk to. It's funny that you mentioned that you would want to think about it and have me discuss it, because and of course you can say no. I would very much so like your help as a group to sell the use of the Telltales. The sticks that they use to channel magic through to determine the caster.
Gotcha.
I have a presentation today with the elders of the Name Foundation, and they all came in from afar, and we're debuting it today. And he waves his hand to the others of the foundation sitting with him, Julius, Trevor, and Sebastian. And Sebastian holds up his 2 fingers with a hold on symbol, and he begins to sign And Julius says, Wolfram, Driven, Sebastian asks what the prey is like on your side of the world.
I guess I describe it to him. Well, no, I guess I don't do that. Wolfram would be bad at describing this to him because Wolfram is not very well spoken. So, Griffin, do you want to take this over, or should Wolfram have an awkward moment where he's just like, "It is very cold, large, hairy, lots of teeth.
It bleeds, so it dies.
It bleeds, so it dies. Have you seen a bear? We have bear."
He looks almost stunned for a second and then begins to sign out again. Okay, that's about what I assumed. He says that that's not exactly what he was asking for, but, you know, he was going anyways. Sebastian is actually going to leave today to go to your home continent. Apparently he wishes for a more diverse prey.
That's warm.
But we very much so will be helping with the presentation, and, you know, as Sibo has said, you are not required, but I believe that it would help in selling, to say, this item. I believe it could do a lot of good, in at least tracking.
Wolfram looks to Reyna.
I'll say, you have no obligation to. He has made it very clear that, just to give you some context framing it, made it very clear that this is going to happen either way. He doesn't necessarily need you to be there, but he would like for you to be. He thinks that you could help him sell this item since he's like, you know, he's not great at talking to people, as he's proven to you guys. He tends to ramble and stuff.
And because I was the first one that they used it on, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want context for what Wolfram is trying to say by looking to you, it's like, if you want to handle whether or not we should do this, he's like, make the decision, but it would appear that Wolfram has no interest one way or another.
Does the rest of the group?
Griffin's just along for the ride.
If it
I
seems
have
that
priorities.
If it seems Reyna is uninterested, Wolfram will speak up.
What do we get from it?
Well, speaking of that, he begins rifling through his like fanny pack almost.
I love the thought of him wearing a fanny pack. It's quite funny.
Yeah. He pulls out three, I don't know any other way to say it, laminated, laminated, like, badges almost, and hands them out to everyone, and in Elvish and Common, on these cards, reads, basically, I don't have the exact wording written down, I should have, but basically these will give you all free lodging and free realm of any named Foundation building if you just show it to, whoever is in charge there at those buildings. Again, for context, these places are like libraries. They're gatherings of knowledge, and there's even usually kitchens, like fully staffed kitchens, and apartments on grounds for almost every named Foundation headquarters.
Coolio.
Okay. How soon are you going to meet?
He pulls out on a chain, a little circular, golden, you would know it as a stopwatch, or a pocket watch.
Okay.
Which you haven't seen often, but because you have spent a lot of FaceTime with Sibo, this is like a gnomish thing, like a gnomish invention. And he says, not long, probably an hour or so.
Okay. Do you know how long it's gonna take?
Honestly, not a clue.
Okay. Well, I guess we can go and help you. But we do have to be quick about it. Because we've got places to be.
He claps his hands together and kind of bounces up on the balls of his feet a little bit. Wonderful! I'm so glad that you decided this is going to sell it. I have so much hope that. And he visibly takes a second to calm himself down. Right. I very much appreciate your help, and I would say meet me in about 45 minutes-ish outside of the room that we met in yesterday, the group room where we gave you the lowdown and everything before you headed off. And we can take it from there. And with that, he sits back down and begins fucking up the plate in front of him again. Which, Sam, the innkeeper's daughter, I'm going to say her name is Sam because I like that name, has just brought refills out. And on her hip, in one hand, she's got the, massive platter, probably literally like 20 pounds of food. And on her hip in the other, she has a small barrel that has been tapped. That she sets down on the table, and she says, "This will be faster. Don't worry about it." And she rushes back to the kitchen. With that, you guys can decide what exactly you want to do for the next, bit of time or whatever. Because Biscuit is screaming at me to be let out.
I have some things I would like to procure in town, but I'm not sure if 40 would be a proper amount of time.
Yeah, I still need a sheath for Wolfram Sword.
What? So what are we thinking? Anything specific that we want to take care of before we head over?
Would I have time to go get any of the things I wanted, or could I do that later?
Probably. This is not a huge place. I mean, it's fairly large, but
Would I around about locating people who would do the things?
Yes, there are signs for shops everywhere.
Well, I figure the things I want to obtain wouldn't really have would be more of a questionable purchase.
I imagine. I think you would reasonably assume that you could probably talk to even Julius, Trevor, or
Sibo.
Sebastian about that stuff.
Oh.
Just- they probably have specialized gear and stuff, you know.
I would definitely ask one of them where I could find a merchant who deals in questionable goods, as well as discuss with Ray. Get trade.
Discussing with Reyna taking the potions.
Want to go get them appraised so that I can accurately discern which of them I would like to have.
Yes. So, Reyna, you would actually know that there is a wizard that works as a journeyman at the in Helm's Keep, whose name is Erkir Thorvald, and he's a wizard. He specializes in magical accoutrement, so he would probably be a good place to get those appraised. And Trevor, you ask Julius and Trevor, and Julius says, "I'm not quite sure what you're looking for, but I would suggest that you not look for it in our city." And Trevor gives him a look, and he's like, "Listen, kid. We by the way, Trevor looks like he's like 25. What you're looking for, you probably want to go talk to Delvin. He works on the top floor of the Foundation."
All right.
Oh.
It is at the name time.
Cool.
Simple.
And they're all in one place.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have the potions appraised first.
Okay.
It
So,
might pick up the litter.
Okay.
so which y'all would be heading to the Name Foundation anyways.
Yeah.
When you get there, there is a large directory board out in front of the Foundation, which again I will copy and paste into, just so it can be seen.
When we get up to leave, as Wolfram's walking out, his sword bumps into the back of somebody's chair, cutting the leg and then falling on the floor. He continues to walk out.
Why did I minimize that? Okay, there we go.
Rather than doesn't notice, doesn't think it's worth bothering with.
Yeah. There we go. Trevor actually notices that, and hey man, what's that made out of? It's got an awfully keen edge on it.
It is my family's sword. Sorry, I need some water. It is my family's sword.
Okay. Cool. You might want to
Make it.
You might want to get something to prevent that from, doing that. And he points to the half-elven man with a
Sprawled out on the floor.
with a visible tan line on his ring finger, who is red-faced drunk to pass out on the floor.
I love that. Yeah.
This would be good. Can you get me this?
Yeah. Well, you guys are headed to go talk to Aircare anyways, right? I think Hansen and Aircare, or maybe Svain. Yeah, probably Svain and Aircare could work together on something to get you going for that. They made me this, and he pulls, seemingly from nowhere, a dagger with a kind of a sick curved dagger, gleaming metal. Gleaming metal, and in the middle, elvish runes carved up the blood channel. I forget what the exact word for it is. And with it points to seemingly just his thigh, but using the tip, he kind of lifts, and you see now a fucking, like, otherwise invisible sheath strapped to his thigh that, like, it's one of those things where when you look at it, your eyes just don't want to see it.
Yes. This is very good work. I will see them.
Right. Tell him we sent you. Sorry, I'm gonna go grab Biscuit for real quick. Y'all can talk about whatever y'all need to talk about before we head out there.
I'm gonna take a moment to go to the bathroom.
Hey, come on.
You do you.
I do definitely want to just add, when everybody was done eating in the tavern, Guizo took all the dishes and washed them himself.
So everybody else goes to the name foundation, and Guizo's just still back at the end.
I love it.
I like that Sam is a thing now. We're gonna have to stay here for a while. Kick her with this.
All right. So now that I've got my dog in from screaming at the neighborhood. So yes, I have posted the directory in the general chat, and I will now read it out loud for you. Well, I'll read out the ones that would be relevant to you. Hansen and Airkir are both on the first floor, respectively rooms 104 and 107. Svain is on the second floor in room 205, and Delvin is on the fourth floor. It just says fourth floor.
I for sure don't pay at the end though.
I honestly don't think they expect you to. Like,
Yeah.
not in a you scumbags kind of way, but in a, like, you know, you defended our city kind of way.
I think Wolfram was just assuming that what's his name? The headmaster paid Sibo.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they were going to town on it when you got there, so they probably did prepay to some degree.
Yeah, because Wolfram just sat down at their table and just kept raising his hand to order more chicken. All right, guys, let's go see our respective people, I suppose.
Yeah.
Are there any that could go together, like Driffin? Are we going to the same place?
Well, we all have to. Correct.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to see Airkir to some degree.
Okay, so you're first.
The Delvin.
Yes, you would need to see Delvin for the flask that you were asking about. I believe I can say that, and it's not, you know.
Yeah, you could say that. That's fair. To go to Aircare with them, but as quickly as I get done what I need done, branch off and go to Delvin by myself.
Yeah, easily enough. Airkir is a man, a human man in his like mid to late 50s.
Okay.
Hello.
Sorry,
I guess we
Biscuit's
walk in.
losing his mind. Eric here is a human man in his mid to late 50s. He's kind of olive-skinned, very thin. Your typical wizard type, except his beard is more salt and pepper. And he's got short, close-cropped hair, and he is sitting at a desk in a darkened room by candlelight, even though it's, the middle of the day, poring over this massive tome.
You gotta protect the books from light. Makes sense. I get it, man.
Alright, so we've entered into his domain.
Yes, just his office, really.
Yeah.
We all walk in and stare at him.
Awkwardly.
Just staring down.
Yeah.
We're waiting for him to say something.
Probably a good 2 minutes goes by, and he eventually turns a page, and as he does, he has to move his head enough to, finally notice you all, and he jumps out of his skin because he looks up and there's 4 people standing there, and he expected no one to be there because he's so deep in his book.
This is what happens when our face has a migraine.
And he goes, "Oh, what can I help you with? What is going on?"
Immediately pushes forward. I need all of these appraised. I need to know what they are.
Oh, excellent. Well, I can tell you right now, this one is a love potion, and he points to the pink one. Just obviously, he just knows that off the bat. He goes, "Oh, take a second for the rest of them, though. Do you have a few minutes? You can wait around for a little bit."
I can come back.
Perfect. That's fine.
All right. So, as quickly as he was done with the one he wanted, and goes to see Delvin.
Okay. Sorry, just pinning the potion list to make sure that it is there to be seen. So you take this hike all the way up to the 4th floor. You start heading towards the 4th floor, you think, but you get to the 3rd floor and there's a staircase that leads up into the roof, basically. Or I say a staircase, like a ladder that leads up to the roof. And this is the only way you think that there is a 4th floor, is that it is hastily scribbled on as as the quote unquote 4th floor. And behind it, you hear an intense. Behind this door that leads onto the roof, you hear an intense buzzing. Upon opening the door, where is the character info photos? There we go.
Noise.
You see a red-skinned man on his knees, shirtless with a leather apron, no shoes, bent over someone who is lying on a kind of low table, and he is actively tattooing their back.
Who? We don't know, do we?
This is the only people in the room. You assume that one of these has to be Delvin because this is like a 6x10 room, and there's no other doors in or out. There's not even any windows. So one of these people has to be Delvin, you would think.
I'm assuming it's the man doing the tattooing.
I would assume, like, the man that would have his name on, a sign for a room.
Yeah.
I would be the one to be like, maybe he's the one getting tattooed.
Maybe, who knows? Yeah.
So yeah, there's the scene before you. He seems intently into his work. He hasn't noticed you.
Okay. Is there a way to him in a private manner?
Does he have lobby seating?
Not really. No lobby seating or anything. There's like inkwells and ink pots and bowls everywhere, as well as like variously sized feather quilled needles all around. This place is kind of cluttered. There are scrolls on the walls with these amazing intricate designs and these like, swirling, shifting patterns that when you look at them, you realize it's not just like an effect of texture. They are swirling and pulsing and glowing and moving and creating their own kind of like Starry Night time-lapse-esque kind of effects.
Okay. I'll walk over and watch what he's doing over his shoulder.
Watching over his shoulder, seeing you over his shoulder as you are a big dude. Sorry, go ahead.
I had this room alone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I had assumed you guys would stay and do what you wanted with Eric here.
Then I'm not there. No problem.
Um,
Just make that clear. That's all I'm saying. You just gotta make it clear.
Sorry.
It's all good. No, you made it clear. It's good.
All right. So Driffin would speak himself known within the room. Excuse me.
what'd you say? After excuse me?
I'm looking for Del.
You got him. You're early for your appointment, though. I'll be at this for another hour or two.
I wasn't aware of any appointment.
Huh? He looks up, kind of half over his shoulder, pulling the needle back. Well, I don't do walk-in. Oh, you're not. Okay. What's up? What do you need? I'm in the middle of something here.
I need to see if you would know how one would obtain a few questionable artifacts.
He looks down at the person he's tattooing. I have no idea what you're talking about, and he gives you a big fake wink. Because this person is like, imagine like a massage chair, where it has the face donut, and they are face down in it, so they can't really see anything that's going on.
Okay. So he obviously doesn't want to have this conversation.
Yes, correct. He says to you, if there's something else that I can take care of for you, you can maybe come back during office hours. They are posted somewhere. I don't pay attention to that shit. They don't like me here anyways.
Well, this is a bust.
You need a bust? I mean, I got a guy.
I'm not sure how to go about.
Look, man, I don't know what you're talking about, illicit substances, but, what in the realm are you looking for?
I need, as he holds up the vial of acid that he got from the right. I need this made into a weapon of sorts.
Weapon.
I would like to be able to deliver this at a range.
Interesting. I use these ink transfer needles. He holds up the needle that he's, using in his hand, and you can see that his hand is kind of like shifting and faltering. It almost looks like it's moving. Like, you ever seen the Flash do the molecule thing where he vibrates his molecules so quickly?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
It looks like that. And he goes, shit. He shakes his hand a little bit and it stops moving. I use these transfer. I almost went to SIBO for a second. I use these ink transfer needles. You could probably use something like that to, like a blow dart kind of thing.
More of something attached to the tip of an arrow.
Like a specific type of arrowhead. I like where your head is going. Let me, when you need this by, because I think I'm interested in this. I think I could probably talk to Svein. Yeah, probably Svein, and get that figured out.
All right. Flask.
Say again. Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
And about the obtain. I'm not sure how to say it without. I'm not sure how to.
I think a good way to word it would be like a hidden compartment flask.
Yeah, I guess that's a way to say it. A flask with a hidden compartment.
Oh, you need like a Assassin's Teapot kind of thing. Yeah, no, but dude, I don't know why you were talking about a list. Whatever. Yeah, no. Shit, I think I got one of those laying around here. And he stands up and puts down the ink pot that he had in his hand, as well as the feather, and begins just like cartoonishly digging through stuff and throwing stuff over his shoulders, and lots of pots and clinking and clattering, and eventually he comes up with this kind of miniature Greek vase style thing, where it has the almost like oblong egg shape and a flat on the bottom and two thin handles on the sides. It's
Cool.
probably about the size of like I'd say it's probably about as tall as like a pint glass.
Huh?
And he says to you, hell, I give you this for like fucking 5 copper. I don't even use this fucking thing anymore.
Okay, cool. And one last question.
Yeah.
Where would I find an alcohol that matches this color?
Ah, shit, dude, all over town. People like to get their fruity drinks around here.
Alright, thank you.
Alright, well, if you're ever looking to get some work done, just, I'll be here.
Okay. Sounds good. And with that, way to find the rest of the party doing whatever it is they are doing.
Cool.
Can I just say that I didn't realize what was happening with his hand until you said that he like shook it out. He was using it as a tattoo gun.
Yeah, he
Like,
cast blur on his hand.
Moving his hand.
Yeah, he cast blur to use his hand as a tattoo gun.
That's funny
Cool.
and really smart.
All right. So, I believe the next thing was after getting the potions appraised, which doesn't take terribly long, like maybe 10 minutes go past, and he's, walking around the room referencing different books and stuff. And he jots down a little list and points out to every potion on the table, and like, he doesn't have like a labeler, but he points them out and writes down in a list, basically exactly how I've put in the thing. These are your potions in the best order I can think to figure them out. That'll be 1 gold.
Okay. I guess we'd pay the man.
Shit, I didn't think that would. Okay. Anything else?
I'll take a potion of I'll take an oil of slipperiness. Wolfram just reaches out and takes it.
Awesome. You can put that in your inventory if you so wish.
Hell yeah. I did.
So
You do stuff.
we'll edit it to reflect that there are 2 in the group pot. Also, if you took the filter of love, Driffin, I'm going to remove that, and you can add that to yours
Okay.
specifically. Cool. So, why do I keep falling into different character voices today? You guys
You're,
got
too many to
you're having to keep a lot of them in your head all at once.
Yeah, that is the trouble with having an organization that has many layers and different people in it.
Yeah.
So anything else I can help you guys with before you mosey on about your way?
You see the one that can help me with my sword? I look at Reyna.
Yes.
What do you mean help you with your sword, bud?
Wolfram pulls it off of his back and kind of holds it out in front of him with both hands. Like, I was told I could come here and I would need help with my sword.
I mean, it's a nice sword, but I don't really know much about swords and stuff. Do you want it enchanted? I probably enchant it. Take a couple days.
Wolfram looks back to Reyna. Is this the wrong man?
No. This is not the wrong man.
What exactly you need help with on the sword?
I need
What
a
was he
sheath.
trying to do?
Get a sheath so it doesn't cut everything it touches.
Oh yeah. If you would like, Wolfram, I can explain it.
Wolfram nods.
So like Reyna would go to him. He just needs a sheath for it. He's been having a lot of trouble cutting a lot of stuff, so he just needs a sheath.
Oh, I see. It's already enchanted. It's like got a sharpness thing on it. And you need something to make sure you don't, make cheesecake out of everything. Gotcha. Follow me. And
Follows.
he leads you guys out very slowly, as he is a hobbled over old man and has his gnarled walking staff. He will eventually, probably about 20 minutes later, with what would normally be like a 5-minute walk, brings you to a room, seemingly a room, where behind it you hear the loud clanging sounds of banging metal. And he opens the door and waves to you all like, go ahead and enter. And when he opens the door, you smell the mixed scent of burning metal and slag, and also a breeze of fresh air, as what is revealed to you is basically like a large room, like imagine a university like teaching hall, but it is open air, and set against either wall on either side are two forges, like big like fire pits basically that they're using for heat, and a channel flowing across the floor in between each of them, all the way across the room, that has a cool flowing water stream. Closer, closer in, there are to the door. There are several tanning racks, and all throughout the room there is motion. There are a few people working at each station.
Wolfram just walks right into the room, but as soon as he enters the room, he doesn't, like, his expression and demeanor don't change at all, but you just see, like, sweat start hitting the floor as he just breaks out and, like, turns a little red.
That is the main thing in here. It is probably like 120 degrees in this room. It gets a little bit cooler as you get to the large, like, massive open side of the building. But as a group, you all think that it would probably be a good 20-30 degrees even warmer if they didn't have an open wall, you know?
Yeah.
Standing between two forges, covered in forging leathers, blacksmith leathers, is a person who stands about 5'1". Just this long shock mane of red hair falling down her face, and she is showing one of the apprentices how to correctly strike down on hot iron in order to forge tools. And Erkir points to her and he says, "That'll be Svein. She can help you out with whatever you need as far as like swords and stuff, and whatever she can't help with, Hanson will be able to help with." And you look over and to the right side of the room where he points across from Svein is a very fair-skinned high elven man, very platinum blonde hair, thin, very 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 handsome, like pretty boy elf look to him, and he is just working away at a tanning rack. Nobody's really near him or anything. Yeah, Hanson should be able to take care of the rest if she can't help you out. So
Okay. I'll just, like, without saying anything, like, walk over to them.
So Svein looks up as you approach, and she goes, "Aye, you're fucking huge. You ever swing a hammer?"
I mostly swing swords and axes.
I fucking love it. My dad taught me how to use an axe when I was real young. My parents wanted a boy when they got it. Just whatever. That's why I named me Svein. You look really warm. Do you want a and she like looks around, grabs a like a metal, almost looks like a pencil holder, turns it upside down and bangs it out on the lip of the fire pit that she's working next to, and reaches down and takes a cup of the cool water and holds it out to you. Do you want something to drink?
Yeah, I'll gratefully take the cup and give her a nod.
It tastes like metal shavings.
Yeah, I don't think Wolfram cares.
Yeah.
He says, "I have been warmer."
Damn right, I bet you have.
I have been told that you can help me with my sword.
What? Yeah, what you need? You need a sharpening? What?
I need a sheath. And Wolfram pulls out the sword and kind of puts it in the posture flat across the palms. Basically, like, showing or to take or whatever.
Wow, that thing is... How old is this? And she gently takes it from you.
It's very heavy. I'll say a normal longsword probably weighs around 2 or 3 pounds. This one is probably about a decent bit longer, so you would expect it would weigh like 4 or 5. It weighs like 20 pounds.
When she goes to take it, there is a noticeable moment of her misjudging how heavy it is, and it takes her like 2 or 3 times to get the balance of the weight right as she picks it up.
For context, it probably weighs, instead of weighing what you would expect of like steel, it probably weighs more similar to gold. So like very heavy. But yeah, sorry, I'm just.
As a machinist, the various things that you learn about metallurgy, that actually makes a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I feel like it informs the story. Yeah, I'll hand it off to her to investigate, but Wolfram is watching her very closely.
She's looking it up and down, and she says, "Never seen anything like this before. Where'd you say you got it? You said it's what now?"
It is my family's sword. We have carried it for generations.
Gotcha.
Wolfram puts out a hand and says, "I am Wolfram Voltar, the 7th."
She kind of awkwardly puts the sword back in your hand and holds out her own, and she's very flustered with this exchange. Where are you from? I'm Svein Johansson, by the way.
It is nice to meet you. I come from the land of Eldra.
Eldra. That makes sense. I haven't seen craftsmanship like this. Not that it's particularly one way. This is a different style of forging than I've ever seen. It almost, to me, it looks like the metal bonds the way that stone does naturally, and it's, I don't know. This is interesting. I like it. We can definitely get you hooked up with a sheath. Any particular material in mind? I'm sure Hanson could probably hook you up with some fine leathers.
Wolfram kind of scratches his chin and says, "I must demonstrate the unique properties of this sword so that you understand what we are working with."
Before you even finish that sentence, she gleefully runs over to a large, like, polished black stone chest kept in the corner of the room, where she pulls out a cantaloupe, and she says, "I thought you'd never..." Oh my god, I'm so excited. And she sets it up on a mannequin type dummy in the middle of the room.
Okay, what's the mannequin made out of? Like straw and wood?
Yeah, straw and wood, definitely. And it's like designed to put melons on top of, so there's just like a platform above the shoulders with a small spike that holds the melon in place.
Okay. Let me first I'm gonna roll to see if Wolfram. You know what? No, I think this is on brand for Wolfram. Wolfram strides forward and in one clean stroke. Let's see what happens. Okay. Based off of the properties that I've given to the sword, I don't crit, but let's see. That is.
1 second. Someone is knocking at my door.
Knock at my door.
Apologies. you come from the land of. The only thing that popped in my head was that you came from the land of.
I come from the land down under.
Oh man.
Dangerous prey there, like the kangaroo and the dreaded drop bear. I feel like if Wolfram was from Australia, he would have gotten into a fist fight with a kangaroo.
Yeah, most likely. That would be on brand for him.
Hmm. Damn. Hmm.
So everybody's
Do what?
getting girlfriends tonight.
Girlfriends?
Guizo got a girlfriend. Wolfram flustered a girl.
Wolfram definitely does not notice.
Yeah, I figured he had absolutely no.
He has not noticed, and if he did, he'd probably assume it was for the excellent craftsmanship of this incredible sword.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry for all the interruptions tonight.
Problem?
Alright. So
That's a
where
20
were you? Sorry.
No, it's all good. That's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, definitely hits.
Alright, how does 11 damage do for you? Is that enough to cleave straight through this thing?
I mean, it's a cantaloupe. It's like a,
Oh,
you
no,
know.
no. I need the dummy.
Oh, the dummy. You said 11 damage?
Yeah, 11 damage. I didn't crit on it, so I have special rules for this that limit the crits to 17 to a 20.
I mean, it's wood and straw. I think that's, yeah, you can cleave through it.
She, like, obviously puts the cantaloupe up there for me to slice, and I just slice the entire dummy into. But the cut is, like, really, really clean.
Oh yeah, it's like an axe cut, which is clearly what the, like, rough axe cuts were made on these, it's a T-post with straw wrapped around it, you know?
Yeah.
And this thing looks like a hot knife through butter.
Just, yeah, it's a... You would expect there to be, like, pull or, like, catching or something with wood and straw, but it's just, like, a clean cut, like somebody had come over it with a trimmer.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. And her jaw drops, like, she's stunned for a second. And at this point, you even notice that a few of the students that she was teaching have stopped and are staring from where they're standing, you know, at their stations, staring now at the sword in your hand, and Hansen approaches.
It did not used to be so sharp.
Fucking, I'd hope. Jesus. I'm so used to...
Hey, I'm okay if everybody talks like Sivo. I like Sivo.
By the nines, that's... Yeah,
By the nines? Shit, is this Eberron? Wait, is that... Nines is from Eberron, right? Sorry, I'm getting distracted, sorry.
yeah, no, it's not intentional, just, I imagine that a lot of cities have, like, a pantheon that they worship, you know?
Of course.
Wow, okay. So, Hansen, this fine gentleman is looking to, get a sheath made for that. But that's not natural, I can tell you that much. I've never seen a metal that can just cleave effortlessly through. I mean, it should you shouldn't be able to clear through wood even. We don't make pikes that sharp for our guards.
There's like a metal. Yeah, it even cuts through like the like. There's like a nail in it, and the nail is also cleanly cut.
I was actually legitimately gonna say yes. Even the nails that hold the post together are cut.
Yeah, and like cleanly, like they're not bent out or anything. It's just like a cross section.
Oh yeah, it's as if someone took a laser saw to it.
Wolfram puts out a hand and he's like, "I am Wolfram Voltar the Seventh."
He holds out a hand and shakes yours very delicately. He's not like, trying to do the super masculine thing.
Yeah.
And just gives you one quick pump.
He gives Wolfram gives Wolfram has an exact amount of strength he uses in a handshake, and he never alters it. So it doesn't matter what, like who hand he's shaking or what, but it's still kind of tight, but it's just because he's a really strong guy.
Yeah.
So I just think Wolfram is not good at like social situations, so he's just like he has one handshake, and that's exactly what he does.
Beautiful. So Hanson, he just says quietly one word. I'm Hanson. I think that I can help you today. If you just come with me, we can make a few selections, and then I will get started on this project.
Wolfram nods and follows.
He just walks 20 feet to the other end of the room where he opens a chest and he pulls out or begins to rifle through. He says, we've horsehide, sheep's hide, ram's hide, cowhide, of course. And I think I may have. He turns over his shoulder and looks at the looks at the sword. And I may have enough salamander scale to make that if you'd like.
Wolfram thinks for a moment. Pretty much, I didn't catch the whole list, but pretty much any domestic animal hide.
Okay, cool. So
That's what I'm asking. Is like pretty much any domestic animal hide.
yeah, I'll say it out of character because he talks very softly and quietly, and that's probably part of it.
You don't have to list them off. I don't know. Big lists are hard for me to keep track of mentally or
Yeah.
verbally.
Well, it was horse, cow, and sheep basically, and then he's got some snake scale, salamander scale.
Yeah, I don't think any of those immediately appeal to Wolfram because of like the wild. So he just kind of strokes his chin and says, "I will trust your judgment."
Right. Well, thank you for that. I think that you will approve of the end product. One last thing for fasteners. Would you like a buckle or a button, or just a good old-fashioned leather slot pull through?
As in, like, to keep the sword in.
Yeah.
I would like to be able to draw it quickly in the heat of battle. What would you recommend?
I would recommend the leather strap pull through. It is simply a few slots cut out of the leather and a leather strap that goes through those slots. It lends itself to quick draws, such as if you wouldn't mind. And he waves, takes a step back from you, and on his hip is just a small dagger. It's probably not even like a dagger, more like a work knife. And he just, quickly pulls this work knife out, and you see on his that, it's just a leather strap that kind of keeps it firmly in, but with a tug, it comes loose, releasing the blade.
I like this.
Right, I'll get started right away. Would you like, since this is going to be magical, one last question. It has to be magical. I'm sorry if that is a problem. I think
No issue with this.
I think inscribing runes would be the best way to deal with this. Are you okay with them being openly transcribed into the leather, or should I be more subtle?
Can they be on the inside?
They can. That is part of the subtler option.
This would be wise. I do not wish to broadcast magic.
Wise
May not
man.
go well in other parts of the world.
Wise man. I appreciate your your stance on this.
Wolfram puts up a hand and kind of shakes it a little bit and says, "No need for flattery, my friend. You do your job well. That is enough."
Right. I can appreciate a man. Well, you know.
Wolfram
Right.
nods and then starts to walk away thinking that this is done.
Yeah. Wait. Will you be in town for long?
Is Raina in the room?
Did you come with them to the? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I look to Raina. How long will we be in town? But this might be something I know. I don't know.
I
I
will.
don't expect us to be in town for long, right?
Yeah. You guys don't have at this point, other than the meeting with Sibo and the council. You don't have any other reason to stay for much longer. So it's however long you would like to stay at this point.
I will stay until it is done.
Great. Shouldn't be more than a day or two, I think. But you know, the nature of magic and inscribing runes and such, yeah, it could fail. But yes, I'll get right to work on it. I unfortunately I can't give you an appraisal until afterwards because I don't know how much material it'll take. But just 1 second, and he quickly runs over to you with a tape measure. There it is, and measures out rough dimensions of the blade, and immediately begins digging through his things and getting to work.
Okay. I was worried I was gonna have to leave the blade with him for measurements and testing, but I'm glad I don't. Okay, awesome.
Driven.
Yes.
Zvane is the one that you have been told might be able to help you with the arrowheads.
Yes. I would like to go talk to this person.
Okay.
All right. So Griffin walks up to her and asks, to come see you about some special arrowheads.
Oh yeah, what you looking for?
I'm looking for an arrowhead that would, and he pulls the vial out. I'd be able to deliver this, which is some sort of acid, at a range.
Ooh, well, the biggest thing would be the durability of the material. That's not going to come cheap. But we have like fluted arrowheads that are specifically made to deliver poisons and tranquilizers for the more deadly beasts and such that come near the edge of town.
Well, I was thinking maybe examine the vial that it's in. We'll notice it's made of glass.
Oh my lord, are you thinking glass arrowheads?
Exactly what I was thinking. Fill them, fill the arrowhead with the acid, and it breaks on impact, and it me that it impacts.
I like where your head's at. Let's see. Unfortunately, I don't really do much glass work. I have a contact, but he's no, I thought I had a thing here.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. I have a contact in Helktar. His name is Amir Malik. He does a lot of glass work. He's a mage of sorts, but he uses elemental magic and makes it's weird. I don't understand it. He may be able to help you.
All right, I guess I'll make my way that way at some point then.
Beautiful, and seeds have been planted. Is that all the business everyone had?
Everything I had.
I think so. Guizo didn't have anything in particular to do, I don't think.
Following around, thinking about his new love.
Yeah, you're visiting the tavern instead of going to the hotel.
He's actually like, guys, I'll hang back here. You guys can go.
Well, you had left the room, I think, to go deal with Biscuit. I had mentioned that after everyone was done eating, Guizo took all the dishes and went and did them himself.
Guizo's so cute.
Guizo is adorable. I love Guizo. I think in doing that, she does give you, like, Sam in the kitchen, gives you, the kind of little flirty but scared to be too flirty kind of exchanges,
Like the grin, the whatever. Very into it.
Hold on.
Guizo is going to be completely oblivious to everything.
Oh, that's the best. I love it.
Thank you.
Did you have something?
You're good.
Okay. So with that, you guys can start heading to the room where you had the meeting yesterday, early in the day, and stood outside are two fully armored guardsmen. Upon seeing you guys approach, they step back from the door, and one of them opens the door for you all.
Yeah, Wolfram's still confused about not having to pay the Weregild for killing those two guards. Or no, was it just one or was it two?
It was just the one, the caller.
Okay.
As we all walk by, Driffin kind of sneeringly, lesson, huh?
The guard will remember this. Telltale Games, the guard will remember this message.
Ow.
So walking into this room, in the corner, you see Sibo nervously chatting quietly with Trevor and Julius. That is
Yeah,
Sam.
that one.
And the round donut-shaped table that was in the center of the room is now towards the back 2/3 of the room, and it has been opened up into two half circles. Sitting along the edge of the wall-facing edge of this table are 7 people. Weirdly nondescript people, dressed very fancily, all graying and older, but the one thing that you definitely notice is that these 7 people, 3 women and 4 men, they are all older, graying hair, and they're just very average, nondescript type people. Upon seeing you enter, Sibo, check the time, make sure we're not... Okay, cool, we got plenty of time as of yet. Sibo quickly shuffles over to you all, and he says, alright, are we... Let me get in the voice, because this is the one voice that I do enjoy doing all the time. Are we ready to go? I'm ready to go whenever you guys are.
Yes.
All right. Well, you guys, well, actually, Wolfram, you don't really do the magic, right? You said that's not really your thing.
I have recently, I have recently been told that I do magic.
Interesting. Well, I think for this demonstration, it would be better if you took a seat over there. And he points to like a bench against the wall, like a spectator's bench, basically. And
I think
So he does.
I think either Hanson or what was her name?
Svein.
Svein. I think one of them said that the sword was magic, or maybe that was Yurkir, and Wolfram is like, oh, is like, oh, it's magic. Yeah, that explains a lot.
yeah, Svein said so. Like, didn't give details, but it's like, yeah, no, that's no regular sword.
Wolfram doesn't know anything about magic, so he's just like, yeah, okay, that checks out.
Like explaining to a child something you don't want to explain.
He's like, well, basically, Wolfram is like, because science. And so, like,
Yeah,
our magic is equivalent to him because it has no meaning to him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like, I understand that it is out of my understanding, and that's fine.
That's basically it, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I'll go sit down.
So, pulling from his pocket a square kind of almost flask, but it doesn't have a tapered end. It has like the shape of the flask, the width and cork in it, and he pulls the cork open and hands one of these about 4-inch long, thin, like. The best way I can think to describe it is the thickness of like a Twizzler. To Driffin, Reyna, and Guizo, one to each, and takes one for himself. And he says, alright, well, when I let you all know, channel magic into your stick. These are updated versions, and hopefully nothing will go wrong. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you here today to demonstrate a wonder of modern magic. A modern innovation made of ancient discoveries. Without the help of one of our key and now, as you all know, reinstated journeyman, Reyna here, we have discovered some ancient techniques and magic that will help us severely, and especially those monstrologists that we work with from time to time in order to protect and catalog history. these little things here, and he holds up his stick, we call telltales, because they tell the origin of magic. And how they do that, none of the people sitting at these tables have seemed to show any interest whatsoever in what's going on. How they do that is through channeling the force of magic that runs through everything and assigning it backwards traveling. It tells who cast what magic by assigning a color-coded system to that person. And no two colors are the same, at least that we have tested. And regardless, we think that this will, be a great innovation. My words are never enough. Let me,
Never mind. I was gonna say Wolfram raises his hand, but I think he explained it.
Enough of me stumbling through words and trying to explain these grandiose concepts by simpling them down. Let's just have a demonstration, right? So I will take, and ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be some casting, so it's okay. Don't be frightened. I will take mine, and I will dunk it in this liquid, this potion, specifically made for this. We call it a tattle. This potion is, again, called a tattle. And when you cast into it, it assigns your magic a color. And, as I said, no two colors we found are the same. Anyways, please watch. And he takes the vial with the liquid in it, dunks his stick in, and closes his eyes and begins to whisper. After a few moments, a huge, like a 6-foot gout of flame shoots out of the end of his stick. And it dies down almost immediately to that of, say, a matchstick. And it begins to glow this neon blue color. And he says, "And it looks as if I've been assigned a color. Raina, if you would." And he holds up the vial for you, Raina, to dunk your telltale into.
I'll dunk it. And do I know the words that I need to whisper into it?
You just need to channel a spell into it.
Okay.
Just tell me which spell you're channeling into it.
We'll do one of my cantrips. I'll do Shape Water.
Okay.
One of the ones I see first.
So, from Raina's telltale, a almost like a holding your thumb over a hose, a gout of water shoots forth, dying down into a seemingly magical effect of the water flowing out of it and disappearing before it hits the floor. And it turns this very muted shade of lavender. And it glows. And he says, "See, it seems Raina has been given her color. Guizo, if you would." And he holds out the vial for you.
Guizo dips his stick into the vial, and as he shakes it, he kind of spins. And when I channel into it, I am channeling Vicious Mockery.
Oh, I love it.
What do you say? What's the verbal component?
Didn't think that far.
Oh. You
Well,
insult
it doesn't need to be like sassy towards the stick. I don't know.
You can think about it while I describe the effect if you so wish, but you don't
Yeah.
have to. So as Guizo spins, a kind of neon orange light emits from his stick, and it forms itself into this ghostly kind of scary face. Like very cartoonish though. Where it's got the squiggly zigzag jack-o'-lantern mouth and the swirly eyes and like a tongue sticking out. It looks like a Haunter almost, from Pokemon. And
Nice.
it settles itself down into this neon orange kind of ghostly effect. And with that, Sibo says, and yet we have another successful demonstration. Guizo's is this orange color. Very bright. I love it. Very pops. Driven, if you will. And he holds out the vial for you, Driven.
Thank you.
So you dunk it?
Yeah, I'm dunking it.
Okay.
And cast a spell into it, I guess, is how this is happening.
Yes, you do go to do that, but you find as you hold it out, and begin to think of something to channel into it, this neon green praying mantis, like stylized praying mantis, flares to life out of the end of your stick, and it looks like a Mad Max praying mantis. It's all spiky and dripping like ooze from the tips of its spikes, and it's very, very scary. And it dies down into this kind of glowing neon green little snarling mantis head that sits atop your the end of your stick. And Sibo says, "Wow, that was especially okay. Thanks for the demonstration.
I would like to try now."
Okay. Okay. Well, here you are, Wolfram. And he hands you a stick, and he says, "What?"
Wolfram sniffs it.
It smells like soot and what's the patchouli. It smells like soot and patchouli.
Okay. Okay, do I feel anything when I'm holding it? Yeah, I'll dip it. Do I feel anything? Like I could, like, reach out with something?
It depends. Like, how would you describe what you would be feeling for as you use it?
I think maybe I'm feeling around, like, does holding this stick, do I feel like is the wolf drawn to it at all? Is, like, the aspect of the wolf drawn to it at all? Do I feel like its ears perk up, in my psyche or whatever you want to call it? Is there anything there?
Let me think about that for a second, because I think there would be a reaction, but I'm not sure.
I guess what I'm asking is, can I expend a rage instead of a spell slot?
Yes, I think you can, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Wolfram feels the pulling deep within him and focuses on it. He's holding it white-knuckled in both hands, and he's, like, looking at it very, very closely. And feels a tugging, and he just lets that energy go.
So, as this happens, you all see a
What do you think? Like a black and red? Is that too on the nose?
No, that's exact. I was gonna say the kind of almost seemingly made of shadows itself, with this like hot sauce red kind of aura behind it. Like the shadow of a beastly head kind of take over, or not take over. Like an aura surround Wolfram and fade into the stick itself, and instead of bursting from the stick, a kind of very deep kind of crimson red flame surrounded by this very very shadowy black Vanta black aura.
Do you what's it from Monster Hunter? The pickle?
Oh,
Devil
Deviljho, yeah. The
Yeah.
dragon type damage from Deviljho, yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that,
that's
good?
yeah, that's extremely appropriate. That's exactly what I was imagining.
I fucking like that. That's cool.
Yes, it emits from the end of his stick.
I am magic.
One
You're a wizard.
My brother's dead victoriously.
Yeah. One of the nondescript women, kind of centered in between the crook of the tables, stands and she says, "Sipo, what do you think this would accomplish?" And he says,
Hey, baby.
"What's up?"
You cut out for a second, at least for me.
Oh, okay. He says, "Well, we're hoping that this would, well, in terms of magical crimes, help us determine the origin of the ne'er-do-well, as it helped us rule out Reyna, because we compared the after effects of magic to a crime that she was accused of. He burnt desecrated corpse of a building, and the magic did not match, ruling her out. And I wish to use this to save the lives of more citizens. This city, this continent has had too much tragedy. We only have a few hundred years of known active history, and we don't really know why. That's what the Name Foundation was founded for. I was here when it was me and 3 other amateur archaeologists and geologists in a shed. And now we're this prestigious foundation 200 or so years later. I just think there's an endless amount of good that can be done by using these. Right, and... well, obviously I have to ask, Reyna, your newly restored status here.
Yes.
What do you think?
I personally think that it is a really good invention. That it is useful for people. I mean, look at me. I was not believed for how many years? And this just proved that it wasn't me.
Right, and what of you, you there, young man with the horns and the blue, Driven, was it?
Yeah, well, it helped clear her name and helped us locate the actual criminal that did it. And then we delivered swift justice in the name of those who died.
And I could see how that would be something that we would all want. What about you, young man? Guizo, I believe your name was. What is your opinion?
Just like what my friends are saying, we used it for good. It is the reason that we ended up tracking down the real source of the problem and helped to throw it.
Right, and you, large man, Wolfram, you had a very particularly interesting display. What are your thoughts?
Wolfram stops for a moment, looks at it. He thinks and scratches his chin. At first, I think this thing is useless. But now I know I am magic, so all is good.
A small smirk crosses her face. She sits down, and the various members of whatever board or council this is begin quietly whispering to each other. A few moments pass, and she looks up after the discussion has stopped, and she says, Raina, Wolfram, Guizo, Driven, you may all leave. I think we've got things to discuss, but we appreciate your help in this matter. Sibo, I think we can move forward on this. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, wait. Like I said, there's more discussion to be had. But thank you for bringing this to our attention. The rest of you all are dismissed. And the members of the council, save for this woman in the center, begin to get up and file out of the room.
Sweet.
And you guys are free to do whatever you wish. There are you would assume like a couple days is the length of time that you need to be around to, hang out in town to wait for your stuff to be done, And other than that, whatever you guys want to do in the city, you got a couple of days of free time before you have to leave.
Okay.
Get some
Coolio. Yeah, Griffin's actually gonna go buy some.
Alright. I just want to set this up before we start anything because I think this is just what Wolfram will do on default unless if interacted with by an outside force, like one of the other party members wants to do something. I think every morning he would get up and go to the forge, spend a couple hours there watching them work, and then spend the rest of the day trying to cool off from the extreme heat of spending the morning in the forge. Come back to the tavern, essentially sit around and basically try to cool off.
There's actually,
Yeah.
within sight lines of the inn, there is like a river
Okay.
that leads into town. Not that I'm saying you need to, but you have that option.
No, man, you said it. Wolfram is in the river. He goes to the forge, spends a few hours there watching over their work, checking in on the progress, and then he comes back, and before he goes into the inn, he goes and gets in the river. And he makes a general spectacle of himself, unknowingly. Completely oblivious. Okay. But yeah, if you guys want to do anything and you need Wolfram to come along, just let me know, and he'd be good to change his plans for that, so.
Well, Griffin's gonna go obtain a rose-colored alcohol.
Rose wine.
Yeah,
Maybe not wine.
Yeah, I'm just... Don't mind me.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
I think that's easy enough to do. Like, there's various types of alcohol all throughout. It's really whatever you... If there's a specific type of liquor that you had in mind, let me know. But other than that, like, unless you just want to role play it, I don't think we have to. You know.
I don't have the intention of role playing it, and I don't have a specific type of liquor. Just anything that can come rose colored, and whatever's left of it goes to Wolfram.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
I'm wearing this tavern out. Gets out of the river and goes had a cold ale. Sorry.
Question. What is? Go ahead.
You would say. How many ounces would you say a shot is usually? Because there's very.
Shot is
many
1
ounces.
ounce.
Okay.
A shot is 1 ounce.
Okay. Most shot glasses are, what are they, 1.5 ounces? But yeah, I think a shot's only 1 ounce.
Yeah, because they don't try. Usually, don't fill it.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
My alcoholism is showing.
No.
Did somebody say alcoholism?
So I think you are able to find a. Wow, I suddenly cannot find.
It is kind of. It does seem really. I just realized the kind of funny situation of Wolfram drinks hard liquors to stay warm and ales and beers to stay cool. Temperature wrong, drink.
That is amazing.
So I think the liquor that you get is a type of cactus flower liquor. Imagine something similar to like a tequila.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that it is 12 gold a bottle because it is, hard to find.
Yeah.
And it's got a little bit of peyote in it.
Yeah, I would definitely get that. Pour whatever fits into one compartment of the flask and give the rest to Wolfram later.
So I think that's probably about 4 shots worth for like an 8 shot total in your flask. Excuse me.
Okay.
Which would mean that there's about 6 shots left in the bottle.
Okay. So the rest of that will go to Wolfram, and then I'll fill the other compartment with the aforementioned potion I have obtained.
Yes.
If you give it to Wolfram, you just I guess come back to the tavern and Wolfram is sitting in his usual spot near the back drinking ale. You put it on the table and he's like, "What is this?"
A gift.
Wolfram takes off the cap and smells it.
It's strong. It's strong as fuck. This is meant to be a shooter,
He takes a swig. Wolfram expertly takes an exact shot by shotgunning it from the bottle.
Speaking of alcoholism,
just for fun, make a con save for me.
Okay. It's pretty good. Let me check exactly. I think I have a +6. Let me see. No, I definitely don't have a plus. Yeah, it is +6. Okay, so 17.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, you can tell it's strong. It doesn't fuck with you. You've had stronger, but this is some of the strongest stuff that you've had, and it hits a little different because it's, it's a different type of liquor. Whereas you're used to vodka type stuff, this is kind of a sweet, flowery type of thing.
It is very good. Sorry, it is very good, Ruffian.
you're welcome.
Wolfram gives you a knowing and grateful nod.
All right. Well, that's that for that.
Hell yeah.
All right. Guizo, Reyna, any last minute couple of activities?
Yes. What is Sam's dad's name?
Eustace.
Oh,
Eustace.
shit.
Alright, so I would like to walk into the tavern. I would like to walk up to Eustace, and I would like to ask him if I could help out in the kitchen for the couple of days that we're here.
Sure. You proved yourself the other night. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I will not let you down. And he goes straight to taking tickets and starts cooking.
Can you make? Let me see what I think an appropriate skill for this would be.
What about a lot of people use survival, but you could also do like a wisdom or intelligence or dexterity, like with cooking implements, if he has proficiency with that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I think. Why don't you make a flat roll, and we're gonna kind of treat this like a luck roll, and just tell me what you got, because that's gonna determine what happens forward from now.
Not 20, baby.
Hell yeah!
Okay. Now, like I said, we're gonna determine what happens forward here from now. Why don't you go ahead and this is going to be the last roll. Don't worry, it's not going to be a roll fest. Why don't you go ahead and make a dexterity save for me?
Dex save. 13 plus 2, 15.
Pretty damn good. So, not 15 minutes after you walk in and ask this, the lunch rush hits, and a lot of people who are kind of touristy or artisty types, you know, students that are coming here far and wide to learn and realize they don't have what it takes to go to a university, and then slum it for a little while before going home to live with their parents for another couple of years. Nothing wrong with that, just that's the, you know,
It's so relatable thing.
This lunch rush hits, and it's like a mixture of these hipster 20-year-olds and cranky old construction worker types, and there's some touristy types mixed in, and it gets pretty hectic, even to the point that you're kind of going back and forth between cooking and cleaning dishes, just, you know, as you need to. And you get to the point where I believe that you can use prestidigitation to kind of clean something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you are, you know, kind of just to make it faster, because you can snap your fingers and clean a dish with your prestidigitation. But things are kind of going crazy, and you end up kind of swinging your arm wide and knocking over a stack of plates that were about to be sent out. But you happen to notice right in the perfect time and slide your hand under, and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man catch these 5 or 6 plates and hand them off. Oh my God! How?
That was beautiful.
Going with it the second you said dexterity saving throw. I've had that ready since you said that.
That's amazing.
And you know, catch these plates, and you can see Samus. You catch them right in front of her as she is, you know, about to walk past you. It's one of these like tight hallway situations where you know, you guys are both going back and forth, and she's taking orders and running back to put them back, and you're taking food out, and, you know, back and forth, and that's when this happens, and you catch it like she almost runs into your arm, and, you know, you just kind of, you manage it very well. You stack the plates back up and hand them off to her, and she stands there for a second, and she doesn't say anything. And then she just kind of briskly walks away back to business.
I'm the one who knocked him over, right?
Yes.
Alright, so when the plates fall and I hand them to her, I look at her and I go, oops, and I wink.
I love this romance. Now I have to kill her.
It's so good.
No!
No, I'm not going to kill your love interest twice, I promise.
Kane, I will say for sure, it's not that you're predictable, it's just that we've been like best friends for 10 years. That's why I do.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, it's perfect. I love it. Raina, did you have anything you wanted to take care of before we wrap up the End City?
Oh my god.
Sorry. Stuck in my head for like 3 days.
I
In
would
mine.
like to take some time to write a letter to my parents for the first time in 2 years.
Okay, I love it. You don't have to do that right now, but I would appreciate if you did actually write it out as Raina and send it to me.
Okay.
Because I feel like that, I want to know what you would write as Raina.
I like it. I'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
Me too, honestly. That sounds awesome.
I'll put it
Yes.
in the general chat. It won't be tonight probably though, because of my migraine.
Take your time, yeah. I mean, we got however long it takes.
Yeah, because it's a letter. It will like we don't have the fastest that you can tell like you know teleportation isn't widely used, so you can't get instant mail here.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be flown or carriage ride driven, which will take weeks or months even. So, Wolfram, 2 days have passed. You've been checking in, every day with the the craftsman, and this second morning, about an hour and a half in, Hanson, who has been feverishly working, sewing and stamping and gluing and he's been working like a madman these last couple days. Presents you with this midnight black leather sheath that has a scale pattern imprinted on it for the first I'm gonna say about 1/6 of the 1/6 of the length of the sheath, and the at the point of the sheath there is a single red scale that is a gradient from a light red to a darker red, almost like a crimson blood red on either side of the sheath. Very subtle, about the size of like a thumbnail. And as he holds it up to you, he says, let me get closer to the mic since he speaks so softly. I have inscribed several runes on the inside, just as you had asked. I used a horsehair twine for the sewing, and this is a specific leather that I was saving, but I thought, no better task than this. This is the leather from a black bull my family, my father raised. And I was saving it for a special project, and this is the project. And if you'll look in here, and he gently taps the inside of the sheath, there are runes inscribed on the inside, of course, but 1 second. And he takes his dagger out and casts light on it, on the tip of it, using it as a flashlight to see deep down inside of there.
That's smart.
You can see that there are, it's almost unnoticeable at first, but as he twists and turns the dagger as a flashlight, there are, almost woven like chainmail. These tiny hand-carved runes that kind of make a web, and even in the light you can see kind of a glimmer as this his crafting knife is inserted into it just a bit. This kind of red orangey, very very subtle shimmer travels down the web of runes. And he says, "I think this will do the job. What you're asking for me to accomplish. Hopefully,
All right.
if not, then come back and I will. Well, you don't obviously have to use me, but yeah, I will make another for. Excuse me, I will make another repair for no cost. But
Okay.
for now, that was fairly cost intensive. I hope you'll understand. The special leather and hard rune work. I will have to charge you about 5 gold for that sheath.
5 gold? Oh, okay.
He looks kind of shocked as you saying okay.
Oh
Like-
no, that wasn't Wolfram. Sorry, that was me being confused. Because it's 5 gold is not very much, I guess.
Well, yeah, for you guys, but this guy works in like his finest craft work. He'll charge like maybe 2 gold for, and he's only charging this much because it's an intricate. He worked overnight for 2 days, very intricately hand carving runes into it, and he's like, man, I feel bad. This is something that I really want to do. I feel bad charging this much,
Jeez Louise. Okay. I will be honest. I have absolutely no idea how the scaling of your money works in this world.
The way that I have it in my head is that like a meal and a room for the night for one person, I would think would run like maybe a silver.
Okay. I will say there are like charts for that sort of thing in the monster manual, but I am assuming you're going off book.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It was supposed to cost 500, but I will take it for 5. Sure. Hold on. Let me zoom back in. He says 5 gold. Wolfram will. Wolfram has no concept of money. Wolfram will take the sheath, look it over, and slide the sword into it for the test fit.
It's like butter.
Perfect.
It's so fucking smooth, and it comes with a chest strap, for you to buckle around your, or rather, tie around your, however you, so prefer.
Okay.
So, can I just ask something?
Yeah.
I think because Wolfram doesn't have a concept of money, do you think that he would give like a couple of extra coins? Because
Maybe.
of how nice it is?
Maybe. He asked for this price. I'm honestly just kind of baffled because I did pay like, I was asked to pay 10 gold for a shield in the beginning of the campaign, so like.
Yeah, I'm looking at the income stuff now, and I have made a.
Well, no, it's not that you've made a mistake, it's that you've decided not to go with it, and I completely understand that, but I don't really have a good metric for it.
Yeah. But I have the chart pulled up, and from here forward, I'm gonna try and be a little bit more accurate to that, because I've been trying to be good about, giving you guys a decent amount of gold and opportunities to spend it.
As much of it as it would be a burden on the party, I will remind you that the original agreement that we came up with for the sword was so out of character. The mechanic I wanted to add to the sword was you can get adamantine added to a weapon, but it costs 500 gold, which is a lot. But it also makes your weapon count as like magical, and you can damage things that have special properties. But since the idea was that the sword already had that property, that it would need a special sheath to keep it from breaking everything.
Yeah, I'm remembering us talking about this now, or texting about this now.
Yeah,
That you're
and I
remembering
don't. I just feel like I feel like I'm cheating. You can just give it to me if you want, but I also don't want to. You know, at
mean-
the same time, it's a game, and I definitely want to play it right.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, if everyone is okay, I would like to retcon that and make that a more, you know.
I'm not trying to bully the DM here. I feel kind of bad about it, but
No, like I gave you guys a shit ton of gold for a reason.
and I feel like this is a good investment because like adamantine adds a lot to it. But yeah, the sword has the property of an adamantine weapon, but because it doesn't make any sense for Wolfram to find a place that can add adamantine to his family sword. Sorry, it is a long conversation. Anyway,
D&D has this technical chunky shit from time to time, and you know that's one of the reasons why I love it.
yeah. All right.
So
Pick up where I push the sword into the sheath, and Wolfram looks at him with his flat expression. Anybody that was there that knew Wolfram would see that he's very pleased, but Wolfram says, "Truly worthy of this sword."
he does a little bow. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment to my craftsmanship.
I will pay your price. Any price you demand for this excellent work. That might be too much. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, right. Well, you know, it did take a lot of time and labor, so.
And runes, which is probably very specialized work.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll let you know. Behind the screen, he had to. In my head, he had to work with Eric Avir, whatever I said his name, the fucking mage, to be like, hey, let's figure this shit out, you know.
Yeah, so you had to hire the services of another craftsman. That's expensive.
Yeah.
Wolfram has no money on him at the time, so he has to go ask Raina for money. You have my word I will be back.
Do you have a response to Wolfram asking for?
Yeah, Wolfram comes in and finds wherever Raina, whatever she's doing. Wolfram comes up and puts the sword down and shows her the sheath and says, "I will need 500 gold."
It is a master craftsmanship. Like you don't even really have to.
It is definitely master crafted, but also it's just Wolfram coming in and asking for 500 gold. Do you have a reaction to this?
I feel like Rena would be very blown away by the craftsmanship. But she would also go, "Okay, Wolfram, here you go."
You sit there and count it out, and Wolfram doesn't even look in the bag or anything. He just takes the bag and says, nods at Wolfram. "Thank you, sister." Walks away. Comes back and pays the man.
So around lunchtime of the second day, I imagine you guys are cleaning up and doing your thing, getting ready to. Well, I'm not gonna tell you what you need to do, but getting ready to move on, and Sibo walks into the dining room once again, and he finds whoever would be around at lunchtime, if anyone would be around.
I'd be there. I would have taken my river dip and been back in by now, yeah.
He approaches you, Wolfram, and he says, "Hi, just wondering what you guys' next move is.
We should move soon. I will have to ask and find if anyone else has business in the city.
Right. Well, what exactly were you guys, like, here for? I don't know that we ever covered that.
We came to kill a cult.
Right, I remember now. Where exactly were you guys headed for that?
I definitely remember. I don't remember out of character.
Yeah, no, and it's fine. In character, you remember, and that's fine. Cause you
I don't even remember.
Yeah. No, it's been a minute. I am actually going back to the map so I can correctly reference it myself.
I see. Nice. God, these maps are really good. Okay, conduit cult hidden in these ruins. So we need to cross this entire continent.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
With your answer, Sibo says, well, so far as I know, there's nothing in those mountains, but, maybe,
Except a cult.
well, yeah, but I don't really know of a call. I believe you. Anyways, I mean, I have contacts in Skyhelm and Baylor that I could, maybe send a messenger bird ahead, to give you guys. Do you know if you'll be stopping in there at all, or?
Sibo, would you give me a chance to gather the rest together so that we may discuss this properly?
Yeah. That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to check in with you guys, make sure you guys were all good. Do what I can to
Thank you, my friend. I will go and find them. Wolfram wanders off and goes gathers everybody up. Now we're all at the table. I just didn't want to have this conversation with everybody.
Yeah.
This is a very good DM move, though, of reminding us what we were doing, because I could not remember the conduit cult.
Well, it's been a while since we directly addressed it, so.
Yeah. No, I mean, just wanted to give recognition where recognition is due. That was a good move.
Thank you. Yeah, because we had a spousal death and party separation in between.
What can you tell us of these two places? You say Skyhelm and Baylor?
Yeah, well, Baylor is a relatively small fishing village. They fish mostly from Lake Baylor. But, if you're, like I said, these mountains that you pointed at on the map, I don't, so far as I know of, I'm almost 300 years old. I don't know of anything going on in those mountains, but, anyways, so far as I know, that's dead land, and,
Sibo, my friend, when you flip over a log, do you not find worms? It is the same with mountains.
That's true. I mean, I'm sure you'll find something there. Where exactly did you all get this information?
This guy.
Sorry, what do I?
I was making a joke. If anyone could flip a mountain, it's this guy.
I love
We're gonna
that.
find worms in there, hopefully. Sorry.
Yes, purple worms.
Sorry, what was Sibo saying? Sorry.
Where exactly did you all get this information anyways?
Oh my god.
Right. Well, I guess you don't have to tell me. If you go through Skyhelm, that would be the most direct route to get to these mountains. So I don't even know if these have a name, this mountain range south of the continent. But like I said, I have contacts in Baylor or Skyhelm. If you end up going through Baylor, if you end up going through Baylor, ask for Melbourne. They'll be able to tell you more about the mountainscape. They, study the land. if you end up running through Skyhelm, well, it's been a while since I've been down to Skyhelm. I honestly couldn't tell you who I have contacts with over there. But like I said, we can send messenger birds. We can try and do what we can to help out. You know, we want to, and I want to, do what we can to help you achieve the end goal.
Thank you. Reyna, you are from this land. Which direction would you like to go? I'm sorry, did I hurt somebody by accident?
No, I don't think so.
Griffin, were you saying something? Or Weezer?
No, I said nothing.
Okay, my bad. Or, I mean, never mind. Anyway.
Eh.
Reyna, you know this land better than we do. Where would you go?
If it helps, just as a recap, Sibo knows that he has a contact in Baylor. He's not sure who he'd be able to contact in Skyhelm, but, you know, he knows that there is definitely a small sect of Name Foundation in Skyhelm.
Okay. And what about Reyna's family? Where are they at?
Farinar, up on the most northern part of the continent.
So we'd be going in the opposite direction then. Okay. Yeah. Who? Sorry.
No, you're okay. So, he has a contact in one.
Yes,
In
in
that
Baylor.
one, in Baylor, does he have, or does he know if there's a small sector for the Name Foundation there too, or just does he have contact?
Yes, that is part of his contacts, is that he directly, like, is friends with the person that he's telling you about, like, knows them directly, not just they work under him. They're a friend of his.
I
He's
say we
got
go
no
towards
city.
Baylor.
Sorry.
Baylor.
So Reyna suggests Baylor.
I like these.
I just feel like if he knows somebody and can talk to them before we get there,
Yeah.
that would be a good idea.
I'm also not sure if Skyhelm is a city or not, and I will also say, if looking at the map, it looks like we will have to climb a number of mountains to get there. We'd basically be climbing mountains to get to mountains on the other side. And it
Yeah.
might be faster for us to go around the mountains, maybe.
Think of has everyone here played Skyrim?
Yeah.
I'm imagining we're jumping up the mountain now.
Well, think of that mountain as High Hrothgar. The point, the peak being where Skyhelm would be.
Yes, I am in favor of going to Baylor, though. Skyhelm sounds way cooler, I will admit, but it also sounds like a place that we'd need a specific quest to go, because it would be treacherous to get to, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Let's put it to a vote, yeah. Somebody
was the
suggests
person
putting it
that
to a vote.
drove me?
Wolf puts up his hand for Baylor.
Okay, so the other way.
Yeah.
Like completely out of the way.
yeah.
Okay. May I,
I think
ask
we'll go.
the DM a question?
Yeah, you can ask me a question, whatever you want.
So, because of what happened with Reyna and how she was outcast, would all of the other cities have gotten wind of this? And do these cities now know that she is reinstated?
I think we can address this in a flashback, if you're okay with that.
Okay.
I like that.
Because this question also helps me with my parents'
Yeah.
letter.
So I think let's go back to the short few weeks following Reyna's return to the Name Foundation in Helm's Keep. You
Okay.
find yourself sitting in the office once again, as you have been back and forth this past week or two, of Sibo. It's a different, smaller office than you now know. And Sibo's chatting with you. You've filled out a lot of paperwork, And Sibo says, now listen, Reina, I want to believe that you are innocent, but we have no other way to explain, an entire exploration party dying except for you. But I want to believe you, and I tell you what we can do. We can keep this off the books and report it as an accident for the time being. But we can't speak word of this to anyone, right?
Right.
I want to trust you right now. I do believe that I can trust you. There's no other way to explain this. What you're telling me, your story is outrageous. You have to understand.
I understand that it sounds outrageous, but after all that I've done for the Name Foundation...
And that's why I'm throwing you this bone. You've worked with us since you left home when you were 22. You've been here for the last... How old is Reina?
Ooh, I don't remember.
I wanted to say you said she was like not far away from 100, but not 100 yet.
I think I was like 80-something.
Okay, cool. For the last 60 or so years since you left home, you've been working with us, and I appreciate that. That's why I'm giving you this bone. I'm throwing you this bone here. Please don't make me regret it, Reina.
I won't make you regret anything.
Well, for now, I'm going to have to write down that you have been. You have not, increased rank at all. You are still an apprentice, and until we can prove otherwise, you will be an apprentice.
Okay.
All right. Well, your next mission we're sending you on is to the continent of Eldra. Cut to current.
I love that.
That was good. I like the tension there too. You guys, good job with that.
So Sibo, addressing the group one more time, says, well, regardless of where you're going first, do you know how you're getting there?
No.
I was going to walk.
That's what I figured. I'm sure we can get you guys, Reina, I'm sure we can call this a, funded expedition into lands unknown. And we'll get you guys a carriage. Nothing fancy, but something that you can ride in with one horse.
That would be perfect. I appreciate that.
Right, well, just don't let the horse die.
I won't.
Alright.
I'm confused. Is the horse for food or not?
Actually,
Well, it's not intended for food.
For an emergency situation.
I suppose this could work, though I would rather walk. Sorry.
Maybe Wolfram pulls the carriage after eating.
I believe you can make the check.
People need it to fuel my carrot pulling power.
how far away is this?
How far away is it? I don't have an exact, but where, before I tell you, where exactly did y'all decide on going, just to double check?
Baylor.
Baylor?
I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to go to Baylor now, but I do want to say right now that I legitimately hope the story leads us back to Skyhelm because I am intrigued.
We can definitely stop in Skyhelm at some point.
I think even Wolfram, like, in character is also interested because he's like, tall mountain? Sounds good to me.
I'd say just over a month if you're going by horseback.
Okay.
Why?
I was just gonna
I'm imagining this continent is like about the size of America, maybe a little bit smaller. And I'm thinking like Michigan to Portland, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know, it only takes like a week to get from one side of the U.S. to the other.
By horseback?
Not
Not by
though.
horseback.
Definitely not by horseback.
Well,
And we can't take a straight route because we don't have like modern interstates. We have to go all the way to Baylor.
yeah, like there's some established routes, but they all pretty much are like from city to city, you know?
Yeah, and anything traveling through the mountains is going to be like switchbacks and back and forth, rough trails. We
And
also
then we got out from.
can't travel as long as we would normally, like in modern times, because we can only travel about 8 hours a day because we have to worry about things like making camp, getting enough food, stuff like that. That's why it takes so long to travel back in the day.
That is very true.
I'm sorry I'm getting into the nitty gritty, but like I also was confused about it at first until I started like getting into the fucking gritty of the mechanics.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I'm like, whenever y'all ask about distances and stuff, I'm always like, well,
Well,
Let
that's
me
the thing.
think
In
about
old
that.
days, it was less about miles and more about days.
yeah. It's more
Yeah.
about what you can get done in a day, and what you
Yeah,
can
they
get
don't-
done in a day is different based on, like you were saying, terrain and weather conditions, and you know.
They're not going to tell you it's 70 miles away. They're going to tell you it's a 3 days walk. You know, for example.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you might be able to do it in a day, but like, yeah, that's what people are going to tell you back in the olden times. Probably. I don't know, but yeah, I think a month makes sense.
So, with that, Sibo gets you all a. He tells you guys wait by the southern gates that lead inland. The next morning, and he will have something taken out to you. And this next morning, you guys, whenever you decide to leave town, you will have by the gate. Imagine, to reference Skyrim again, the cart that you were carted in on at the beginning of the game. A cart about that size.
Can I? This is completely pointless, but can I ask for a specific type of cart?
Yeah.
Or is it like a straight up cart? It's not a carriage?
I mean, it can be whatever we want to imagine it as. I don't have flavor for it.
There's in mountain vehicles there is a wagon, and I was thinking that might be good. It's kind of mid between carriage and cart. It's big, it's spacious, it's pretty, sturdy. I was thinking like mechanically a wagon. I think it weighs 400 pounds, is worth 35 gold.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Hell yeah! We don't get the worst of the worst. Yay! Sorry if I'm the only one in the group that cares about this kind of thing, but like I get so much enjoyment about this stupid shit.
No, I love it. That's the perfect one for it too, because it's not as fancy as like a carriage, but it is fancier than a cart.
Yeah. It's not like rickety wooden wheels. Yeah. But, yeah. You know why the wagons of like the frontiers people had the like really big hoops and really thin wheels? It was to travel over prairies so they wouldn't get like stuck in holes. And you can actually pull that thing up a big ledge like a fucking tank. It's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah. I just thought that was kind of cool. So they got big ass wheels, yeah. But yeah. Hell yeah. Wolfram climbs in the back of the wagon and makes himself comfortable with whatever supplies we have.
So I was gonna say, does anybody actually have a land vehicle proficiency?
Let me check. Folk hero, I know
think-
does. Go, sorry.
I think I have one.
You do?
I don't think I do. I don't.
What's your background, Griffin? I'm just curious. If you want to tell me.
Haunted one.
Haunted one. Okay, I do that. I don't think I do. I don't. Wolfram doesn't know how to like control vehicles and talk to animals anyway. That makes sense because he's an outlander. So like,
I don't know why Guizo has land vehicle proficiency, but he does.
are you a folk hero, Guizo? What's your background?
I think Weezo had to step away.
Oh, oops.
But that's fine as long as someone does have one.
Yeah, I didn't even know that I did. I didn't even bother checking.
What's your background, Guizo?
I'm looking right now. I don't know.
It can be like sage or stuff like that. You know how you choose your race, class, and background? Yeah. It doesn't matter a ton. It's just I'm curious.
Folk hero.
Yeah. Okay. Folk hero. Perfect. Yeah, that was it. That was the one I was thinking of. Hell yeah. We got one right here. He knows how to drive a cart.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, he could cook the horse too if he needs to.
Yeah, and Wolfram can eat it and then pull the cart.
All right. Well, as your journey begins, we will bring this session to an end.
Hell yeah.
All right.